It took me a little while, but I had my first week working by myself, no preceptor. So now I feel like I'm really a nurse. Like, I was a nurse before, but now I'm really in this. Like, I'm really doing this. But with that being said, I definitely can add to the conversation of pros and cons of being a nurse. So let's get into it. So pros. One of my favorite pros about being a nurse is flexibility in terms of scheduling. You work 3 12s a week, meaning you get 4 days a week off. What other jobs are you really seeing at? Exactly. 4 days a week, I could do whatever I want. Go somewhere, I could do something. I could do nothing if that's what I want to do. The obvious one, good pay. Now, depending on who you ask, pay could be a pro and a con, because there's going to be some people that feel like nurses are overworked and underpaid. They're not being compensated properly, and I'm not here to negate that. But I am here to say that for me and my situation, I'm 22, I just started the job, and I'm making 6 figures already. I don't got no complaints. Nursing is a very lucrative job, whether you do bedside or you're doing something that's non-bedside. Depending on where you work, your specialty, if you have any differentials. And at the end of the day, a job is a job. And if I'm gonna do something, I would love to be paid adequately, and I think I do. Variety. That's my next one. And there's a lot you could do with a nursing license. You could be a school nurse, you could be a nurse educator, you could do IV hydration. Alongside that, there's a lot of variety within bedside itself. Med-surg, L&D, ER, PACU, NICU. It's always something new. For the most part, the patients you have this week are not the patients you're gonna have next week. You're getting a whole bunch of people that you interact with on a daily basis. You really get to see and learn and experience a lot. Job security. Anywhere I go in the country, I'm gonna find a job. Nurses are always going to be needed. I think the last and the most important one is that the job is really fulfilling. It makes me feel like I'm doing something, I'm being helpful, I'm being useful. I've had a lot of patients express gratitude just for me being there, listening, being attentive, and it really does something to you on the inside. For the cons, I feel like the cons of nursing all leads back to one con, which is that the job can be overwhelming. There's a lot that goes on in healthcare as a whole, and nurses are in the center of all of it. You wear a lot of hats. You also get a lot of interruptions. There's very rarely a time where I can say I'm gonna do one thing and then get that one thing done without some sort of interruption. The job comes with a lot of switching it up. So if you're a person that likes routine, you're not getting that with nursing. You don't know how many patients you're gonna have, what your patient is gonna look like. You have to be able to roll with the punches. But I will say that if you are somebody that likes structure, you like routine, you like a plan, I'm that person, but I'm surviving so far. There's ways that you can kind of bring structure into the setting, but you just have to accept that the setting itself is not structured. Another con is staffing issues. When you're short on nurses, that means you have more patients. When you're short on PCAs, that means you have to do more than you would on the usual day. But there's a lot of jobs that experience that. Nursing is not the only place where you see poor staffing, but it is a place where you feel it a lot differently. A lot of the issues that I just mentioned are directly associated with bedside nursing. Nursing got too much flexibility in it for it to be such a like boo type of thing. I don't know. That's just me though. If y'all got any pros or cons that I missed, let me know.